start. Always like her voice. Can you guys hear that whenever I start it? Yeah. Okay. Okay. Good to see you guys. I feel like our months go by super fast. Pardon me. I just wanted to share a few things with you. This is not going to be long at all. We don't have a lot on the agenda, but I did listen a couple nights ago to like an hour and a half long video from all of the like diamonds and RCDs. Went on a weekend long, I don't know if you'd really call it a retreat, but basically like corporate had them in and just kind of laid some things out with them from IT, let them kind of just share all of their concerns and all the things. And so anyways, the consensus from that video that I watched from all the diamonds was they were very, very, very pleased with the plan that Young Living has in place moving forward for things, with the timelines, their projections for how they're meeting goals and new things that are coming up. They were very pleased with leadership and their interaction with our new leadership, explanations for things, all of that kind of stuff. And one thing that stood out to me was one diamond said she realized, she's like, I really didn't want to go. I had a friend that had to convince me to go. But I went and I realized when I was there that I had been through all of this like turmoil and all the things that we had been experiencing. I had really dehumanized corporate IT customer service. I had really dehumanized them and what they might be doing on their end to get us through this valley. Hey, Stacy. I'm like, Stacy, have we seen you since you're an engaged woman on here? I don't know.
I don't think so.
I haven't seen that ring. Can I see it?
Yes, I was cleaning, so it's upstairs.
Okay.
Hang on.
Well, we need to see it.
Okay. Hang on one sec.
But I thought that was really good, I think, for me to hear, because sitting on this other side, it can be like, well, they know the issues, but like, what are they doing about it? Or, you know, whatever. And just talking about like people sleeping on the floor and just the hours that were being put in to clean up messes and to make things better and to make things right. And so that was really good. But through all of that, okay, you got it for us? You just got it.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so pretty. It's so pretty. He did good. Do you guys have a date?
Did. March 12th.
Oh, that'll be here soon.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy around here right now. But
all the planning.
Okay, congratulations.
Congratulations,
Stacy.
Thank you.
Super exciting. Okay, I got that date written down. And Jess gonna be able to come back? Yes. Okay. Very good. Okay. Sorry, I know I'm all over the place, but I wanted to shout out Stacy while she was on here. So anyways, the video was really good. They talked through some things. For example, the CEO of Scava, which is who did our website and who is continuing to manage that platform. Scava also runs companies like Nike and Costco. So some other big brands that obviously have like seamless ordering systems. And so they just talked about how they realized that there's still been a lot of issues and issues that we worked through. But just the pains of transferring and merging a system while people still needed to continue to utilize it in a big way, aka building our businesses, that kind of thing. And so they just talked about like the pains of that and not being able to like pull back a system completely, but still having to like let it run while they're doing all the things. So it looks like a lot of updates are coming. I'm going to continue to update you guys as those follow through. They also just tested the website in preparation for the holiday launch. The holiday launch is on October 23rd. And they tested our system and it tested successfully to be able to successfully process 2,000 orders per second. So that's like 2,000 people clicking the order button, and it passed. Our system crashed last year at 800. So that kind of gives you an idea of what they're working with. So they're feeling very confident with that. The Diamonds couldn't say what was being released, but they were like legit, we are giddy, excited, squealing about things that are coming holiday catalog. So 20 plus offerings. I think it's going to be really good. The video was really encouraging. Lots and lots of good things to share. So I wanted to pass that on to you guys so that you kind of know where we're at, and I will continue to update you as I get those kind of things. As far as stuff coming for October, the only thing I have scheduled right now, I planned in the next couple of days to hopefully knock out a couple more things. It is my birthday month, so I'm hoping to do like a birthday promotion for the team. I don't have the details of that figured out quite yet, but I will let you guys know as soon as I know. So that'll be fun. And then education-wise in the group, I think you guys saw me post about that pop quiz idea. You guys shared some suggestions, which was really good. But I think that could help with engagement, encourage people to look things up, whether it be on our page or in their reference guides. And it gets other people educating. I rarely like go and ask on the team page a question like a need that I have. Like if I have it, I don't know if there's that like thing where if I have a question, I normally just ask it in our messenger thread. And I don't know if it's because I'm like, I don't need help or whatever. I don't know if that's it. But yesterday I asked a question about plantar fasciitis and it got like 40 comments. And I was like, that's what the groups are there for, right? The groups are there to help each other, for people to offer their experiences, to be that kind of community. So it was just a good reminder just to be asking those questions there in those bigger forums, giving people opportunities to share. So that was good. But I'll do that there. And when I haven't decided if every pop quiz that I post, if I'm going to do a drawing from that, or if I'm going to pick a few from the month that people have commented on and give away something for that. But I'll do some sort of giveaway in correlation with those. Let's see. I have a lot of random notes for you guys. Okay, I finally updated our Jumpstart group. I haven't done that in a few months just because it hasn't been updated with like all the new lingo, but I finally have that updated and plan to run one of those in October. We have lots of new members from the last few months. I feel like it's a lot of people who maybe aren't on Facebook. So just a reminder, because I've had a few that are on Facebook, just a reminder that we do have our team website, and that is slowly being updated. I've updated a few things there too to update the lingo. But just a reminder that we have that community space on our website where people can still get some good education if they're not on social media. But I will run a Jumpstart for October for all those people who need it. And maybe if it's just somebody who needs help with some of the new language or whatever, like feel free, they're welcome to jump in on that too. PV Assist is coming in November, so you can look for that. A version of PV Assist will be back in November, which I think will be really good for a lot of people. Yeah, okay, I think that is like weeds. That is mostly what I have. Does anybody have questions while we're on here, or needs that their team is experiencing that we can talk about before I share anything else?
Erin, just a question about Young Living Insights. Is anybody else having trouble with it updating like 2 or 3 days sometimes before it updates? And
I'm honestly not on it a bunch.
Yeah.
Probably to
and
even notice.
One thing I noticed on mine, I was a little surprised. The accuracy had been good until last month, and it was like $100 difference in what, like I got like $100 less than what it projected. And even
Okay.
when I go back and look at August, like if I'm in September now, but if I go back and look at August, it's still showing what it says I should have got. I mean, what it projected, and it's not what I received. And I thought about calling, and I thought, I don't really know. But I mean, it's my issue. I mean, that I can call about, but I just want to know if anybody else, if they're finding theirs accurate, or if it's not updating for 2 or 3 days.
I don't know if anybody, I honestly haven't been looking at mine much. But I will go back and look at that and just kind of see, especially for which one did you say was off August?
Yes.
August
August.
I'll go back
Mhm.
and compare my checks and see what they look like on there.
Yeah.
Kelly.
Isn't
The
that
other,
what, isn't Elaine been saying like about that, the same thing? Like noticing like the huge discrepancies across the board?
I didn't catch anything on that, but it may have been
Neither.
Mal. I don't know.
Like Elaine's been talking about that, like there's just been discrepancies and stuff, and I know she's on some of that more than the rest of us.
Yeah, I hadn't heard that, but I will look at that. I honestly haven't been using my Young Living Insights as much lately. So I couldn't tell you, but I will check on that. And if you ever need me to text in about something, I'm happy to do that. And just knock all those out at once if you guys have an issue.
Yeah. Thanks. I mean, I can, do a call about it. It's fine.
Good news is, kind of on that note, the call time stuff has been cut in like down to like a fourth of what it had been. IT said that probably 48% of their phone calls were about people asking like to show them, to walk them through like really simple things on the website that there are videos for and like tutorials for and things. And so calls were averaging like 25 minutes a person, just really long stuff. So just encouraging us to remember the resources of those little short videos that we have. If you can pull those for your members and share them, if you can, do a quick FaceTime and walk them through something. If you have somebody who needs something, I am happy to do all. I understand that there is a customer service struggle right now, and I want to meet that need. So I'm happy to text those in anytime we can. And some people might be like, well, that's a lot of extra. And for me, I want people to feel cared for and taken care of and to have a good experience. And so I am happy to kind of bear that for the short time that we're going to need to do that. So please send those my way if you need to. Anybody else?
Hey, Erin, have you heard anything about them being able to fix the website where like it takes you like maybe like 3 or 4 times to log in successfully, or the fact that you might get kicked out saying you've logged out? Because I've still been dealt with those issues.
I haven't, but I will actually make a note to submit that to IT.
Okay. Yeah, because like it'll take me a couple times, and I think I've just gotten so used to it that I just do it. But it's frustrating. Like when I'm trying to go to one thing and it's like, oh, you've been logged out. I'm like, no, I did not log myself out. I need to stay in. So I yell at the computer.
Well, so I've noticed on the phone, it's not doing that anymore, but on the computer, it still is for me.
Yeah, it definitely does that for me, going from like I think I'm in, and then I click virtual office, and then it's like, you're logged out. And that, I feel like that's been like 6 months at least of doing that.
Yeah, it does it on the transition for me.
I think it's the transition from the site to the virtual office for me.
Yep, it is.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. One thing, yes, and I will submit that and ask in the gold group if anybody has like a projection on that. One thing I wanted to let you guys know is there is some people were trying to go back into their virtual office. I was going to try to pull it up, to grab their share link. And that's not what you want to do. That is an outdated way to do that. But you can grab your share link from your new dashboard. And it's just, it's got the little tabs on the side: subscription, order history, loyalty, rewards. At the bottom, it says share YL. And it says your personal referral link, and you can copy that. And it's also way shorter than it used to be, which is awesome. But just know that new way to grab your link is there. So when you're telling your people. Another thing I wanted to share with you guys is, I feel like at the beginning I was a little unsure about helping someone get started. Again, like I could have done that with my, I don't know, with the eyes closed. That's not a really great example here, but I just could do it super easy before. And when the change happened, I wasn't feeling very confident about walking somebody through. But you guys know I'm a verbal processor. And the more I would like audio it to somebody and talk them through subscribe to save or loyalty rewards or whatever, the more I was like, okay, it's really actually simple. And it made more sense every time in my brain and feeling a lot more confident. So is anybody feeling that way where they wouldn't feel confident walking somebody through how to get started? Everybody feel good?
I mean, for me, I'll say, like, I do get the concept, and I know, like, I haven't been reaching out as I need to, but when I have reached out to some people that I thought might be interested in the new way, like it's like a big crickets. Like it's been crickets. And I mean, granted, there's parts on my end that I need to work on and improve, but like I do get like how it is, the technically three ways you could do it, retail, subscribe to save, or get the 100 PV or whatever. But yeah, it's been a lot of crickets, and maybe it's just because we've been in transition. I don't know.
Okay. So pop quiz, besides Becca, because I don't know if they caught this. What are your 2 ways to get your discount? We'll start our pop quizzes early.
The 2 ways to get a discount?
Yeah. If you're
subscription order or $100 PV.
Yep. And so they only have to put one product on subscribe to save. They can obviously delete that. Just like if you're on Amazon, any other, I'm noticing the language more and more when I get on other sites now. It's like subscribe to get 24% off or subscribe to get 15% off. And so I'm noticing like a consistency in that language, and that I will often choose to subscribe, set an alarm, and go back and unsubscribe later or whatever. So that is an option for people. Okay, I just wanted to make sure that you guys felt confident with that. And I wanted to share something with you from Leslie Burris that I saw her share. And she says, because we've kind of been talking about with this new system, like how should we share? Are there new ways that we can share? I know Mallory's been doing a couple parties. She's been having success with that. But I also know that parties can feel hard to people, or they might be like, I don't want to do parties. So I wanted to encourage you, because I was encouraged by what she said. And I think it's a good reminder and a good kind of motto to have as you are filtering, and as I am filtering everything that I pass on to you guys, and things that we pass on to our brand partners, is just that idea again of simplicity. She says the fastest and most profitable way to grow your team is to have brand partners who understand how simple and easy it is to teach a class. Happy customers who order each month are primed and perfect to have a conversation about upgrading their account to brand partner. That's where exponential growth lives. Let us be leaders who make it so simple for others to get started and train them up with everything they need to do it successfully. So I wanted to share a video because she says this is what, let me share my screen. She's like, this is what a class looks like for her. Can you see that? Oh, maybe. Okay. So that's powerful, right? And so she was just relaying that that's her class. Like that's her version of a class, is showing those real life moments, how the oils are impacting her family in a real way, right? In a real moment, real time moment. And so just that reminder that that's something that she can encourage people to do. That's something simple. I don't know. What did you guys think about that when you watched that? People with littles, did it make you want to get a bottle of Endoflex?
I'm impressed she remembered to turn the video on in the middle of the meltdown. Because that wouldn't be me. I'd be like, I don't have time to do video.
Yeah. I know for me, you know, our middle Harper has a lot of big emotions. And when I watched that video, even as somebody who oils a lot, I was like, oh yeah, like that would be a good resource for us, something that we should, you know, try on our big emotion days. So I just wanted to share that with you as you are sharing. If you're like, I don't have time to do a party or a class, or I have no desire to do those kind of things, that we can look for opportunities to not just share a picture of a bottle of an oil, but even maybe to be a little bit more vulnerable in our sharing, and remember, catch those moments and share those moments that are impacting and changing our lives.
Erin, I thought it
So
was brilliant. I thought it was brilliant in the way she said the 10-second hug too. It's
yeah,
not just that you roll in oil and leave them there. I mean, there was holding and stuff, which is real life stuff. So I thought it was
yep.
very smart.
Yeah. And, you know, we talk about combining total body wellness, and there are lots of moments when we are combining our oils with other healthy activities, whether it's for our emotions or for us physically or whatever. So yeah, I love that. And it impacts your credibility too. Like I shared something the other day that is completely not Young Living, and it was something that we were using and loving, and got a lot of messages about it. But when you are kind of combining some of those things, people realize that you are going to share all the things that you love, right? Or all the things that you're working, not just the Young Living things. So I thought we could even, or you can later, brainstorm what are maybe 3 or 5 real life things that are happening in your current season that you can be intentional about sharing in this coming month. So I can send you guys that video to maybe go back and rewatch again. But does anything come to mind from somebody that's like specific to their season that they say like, yeah, this is something that I could work with? Okay, so that's your homework. 3 to 5 things that are currently working in your season. And I'd love to see kind of what you guys come up with. And then just remembering that we can reach out to those people who are loving their oils, and just letting them know that there is that brand partner opportunity and how easy it can be to share.
Hey, Erin.
Yeah.
I'll share. I'm totally trying to like grab a notepad and a pencil while you're talking. So I'm like, hold up. I'm going to forget this. But I think things to share that like our family's dealing with right now that I know other people are too, because I see their posts about them complaining about these things all the time. So like, I know I'm not alone. Like allergies, sleep, stress, stuff like that. It's trying to, well, people are complaining about being sick all the time, but so I'm also sharing like other things we do besides just oils for staying well or like wellness, but you know, talking consistently about arnica, sleep, stress, allergies. And I do that in a variety of ways. I think more videos of Lydia throwing a tantrum would be great. I would also have to remember to grab a bottle of oil to calm her down instead of ignoring her, which is what I normally do. But yeah, like just things like that. I think is like, I try to keep it simple and not overcomplicate it, which I think is probably, you know, a huge part of it.
Yeah. And even that idea of, you know, we all don't have to love every Young Living product. I don't love every Young Living product. I don't love the dish detergent, real talk, like the dish powder. And so do you ever see me talking about that? No. I can tell you what I am using and what is working that's still clean if you need to know. But choose those things that are, we all have 4 or 5 products that are like our ride or dies. Like we are going to use this stuff. Like I'm going to use this stuff whether Young Living pays me or not, because it is that good. Be talking about those things because those are the things that have impact. Those are the things that you're passionate about. Those are the things that you can be influential about because you feel that strongly about it. Okay. I also wanted to just encourage you guys a little bit that I know the number of people here on these calls has gotten a lot smaller. The number of people who are doing the things has gotten a lot smaller. And so I wanted to encourage you because I was thinking about other things in life, whether it's a marriage or a hard job or whatever, a hard relationship, whatever. In my short, almost 32 years, I have learned that I grow the most through sticking through and working through and digging in when those things have gotten hard, when that relationship has gotten hard, when the conversations have gotten hard, when the situation has gotten hard, when I've stuck through it, when I've prayed through it, when I have persevered, that is when I've seen the most personal growth in myself. And so I wanted to encourage you guys that leaders are built in the valleys. Leaders aren't typically built on the mountaintops. You're going to see a lot of people show up in the mountaintops, and you're going to see a lot of people flee in the valleys, but the leaders are built in the valleys. And the people who are willing to walk through the valleys and walk through the hard stuff And so what you're working through now is going to prepare you for future seasons. So just as we're like wrapping up tonight, I wanted to encourage you to think about why you came to Young Living and why you're still here. I think back, hot minute ago, I joined Young Living out of desperation for a health issue. And I will always be here for that. Like it changed my life. Like I can literally say now I'm thankful that I had that health issue because it caused me to think differently. And I found a community of people who encouraged me to think differently about my health and wellness and to think differently about the products that I brought to my home. And it was the Young Living community that encouraged me to think differently that ultimately changed the way my body was responding to things and the way I feel now. And that's powerful to me, to be reminded that when I help someone get their products, that I'm helping bringing them into a community that might help them think differently about how to take care of their family or their bodies. And that's a big deal. So why you came here and why you're still here are two things that will remain true regardless of what is happening right now. And the only way to stay the course with our businesses is to not get distracted by the sparkly things. Because I know like when it gets hard, there can be these little sparkly things over here that like this person's having a lot of success, or this other thing is doing really well, or is easy, or is much easier to understand, or whatever. So just want to encourage you guys to not get distracted by those sparkly things. And at the moment when things get hard, we have two options. We can either double down and work hard right where you're at, water and nurture that. Right? This is not, I don't want to put off the vibe. This is the same as a marriage relationship. It's not like that's a covenant. That's holy. That's before God. But like, I see the parallels in if something gets hard, let's water and nurture and care for that thing. And just be careful that like the grass is not always greener. I think that is a temptation, is to like flee and let it go and all of those things. And last thing is that success is not an accident. To be successful, we have to show up. We have to show up for that success to happen. And so for those people who are continuing to show up, there will be fruit, there will be reward that comes from that. And I'm not just talking about like a monetary thing. Like there is reward in like grit, there's reward in sticking something through and doing some of the hard things. So I just wanted to encourage you guys with that, and to give you a few things to think about as you're sharing in October. Does anybody have anything else for tonight? I hope to spend the next few days coming up with a couple more resources for you guys to share in October, but that's all I have for this evening.
I have a piece of encouragement, just something I was reminded of earlier today. Like if you're sharing on social media and stuff, I know sometimes it can get really like frustrating and stressful, and you can feel like you're getting bogged down and wondering like, why am I doing this? Is this fruitful? No one's commenting on my posts, or no one's responding to my stories, which is normal because people are people. But just remember, even when people are not commenting or liking, that they still see your stuff, and they still know if you are sharing consistently about how you keep your family well, whether it's oils or food or exercise or all of the above, like whatever it is you're doing. And if you share consistently, that means more days than not, people see it and people are going to remember, oh, she's that girl who does this. And then eventually when they're ready to talk, if they're ready to talk, not everyone will be ready to talk, but if they ever get curious, you'll be the one that pops in their head and be like, oh, let me reach out to her and ask her about this oil. Let me ask her about what she does so her kids aren't sick all the time. Instead of being the people who are always complaining about their kids being sick, we'll show our kids, we don't have to brag about our kids being well, but like, look, like, we're living life. I'm not complaining about being sick, right? People see more than that they see. So don't give up. And then in person, I know going back in person in life right now is kind of hard and confusing and kind of weird in a lot of ways for a lot of people. And we're all trying to make new friends, especially if we've recently moved, and maybe trying to find new places to get plugged in with people in person for the first time in a long time. And that's kind of awkward and weird, but don't be afraid to do that. And don't forget to use your oils when you're in these new groups of women, whether it's an exercise group or a Bible study or a mom's group, whatever it is. Don't forget to be a product of the product in front of people, because then they'll be like, oh, and they will remember she's the person who uses those products.
Yeah, thanks, Mel. And that consistency piece is so real. I just this week had somebody that I had been seeing her posts about a product that was like really working for her that I had been wanting to try. And I was like, oh yes, like I saw it, and I went and pulled something up, and like was like in the I had like created an account, and then somebody needed me and I never checked out, right? Like that happens. I never checked out, forgot to circle back around to it. And then today I saw her share like a before and after picture again. And I'm like, oh yeah, like I need to finish that. And so it was a reminder that because of her consistency, like it took me a few tries because life, right? 3 small children. But it was her consistency. And even Mallory, just using your oils on yourself. Today we had a really hard day around here. Had a hard day, lots of emotions, lots of fighting, lots of all the things. And I get to the end of the day and I'm like, I have not started my diffuser. I have not put a single oil on my body other than like things that were in my products. You know, you get in the thick of things and you forget that you have these resources. And so just an encouragement to use your stuff too for you. Cool. Well, thank you guys for hanging out here tonight. As always, if I can ever do anything for you, I sat on a phone call with somebody the other day and we just like role played helping somebody enroll so that she could feel more confident. I'm happy to do any of that stuff if you guys need it. Okay.
Thank you, Erin. Thank you.
Yeah. Y'all have a good last couple of days of September. I'll see you in October.
Bye.
Thanks, Erin.
All right. Good night.